going to share my workflow using Pixinsight, my basic workflow. I'm using a MacBook Pro M1 Max. I'm using a fit file that had been captured and stacked using ASI Air. All right, pick my file. I'm going to choose, this is the Iris Nebula. Do a quick auto stretch on it. Then I'm going to do the dynamic crop. Now here I used to use dynamic background extraction to set points and extract the background, but now this tool here is a real game changer, auto dynamic background extraction. Just click execute and it goes and runs an algorithm. It's not AI, according to the software author. It's some algorithm that's smarter than AI actually. Apps like Graxpert remove structure, not just the background. So here is a sample of the extracted background. I'll take that away and I'll stretch the image, resulting image. All right, I'm going to now do my blur extermination to make the stars smaller. Next, I'm going to do the noise exterminator to reduce the noise. Now my next step is to go ahead and make this image non-linear. And I like to use for that the easy soft stretch, which to me is much easier than using the screen transfer function. Now I'm going to do star exterminator, separate my stars out. So there are my stars, and there's the starless image. My next step is, in this instance, I'm going to use a Pixinsight process called narrowband normalization. And I use this to accentuate the O2 and hydrogen alpha colors, trying to bring those out. Different modes to work with. It's HOO, but I like, for here I'm going to use the SHO, which gives me more controls over the O2. And so I can manipulate kind of the blues and the reds, if you will, and get closer to what Iris Nebula looks like. And using as a reference other photos, such as an Astrophotography, I know that there's a blue, light blue color in the middle. So I'm going to kind of work with these controls and kind of do it to taste. So just kind of manipulating the colors and seeing what I like, seeing what works best. And I'll apply that to the image. And now there's my image. I'm going to now save this out to Lightroom. And I know you can do all the adjustments in Pixinsight, but I really like using Lightroom and Photoshop. Been using it for a long, long time as a traditional photographer. So I'm very familiar with the tools and prefer to use Photoshop. So export the one as a starless image. I'm going to export the other as an image with the stars. And so what I'll do is edit those separately and bring them back into Pixinsight and use Pixel Math to join them. All right, so now those are exported as 16-bit TIFF files, which really save all the data and information in the file. All right, we're going to now bring both of these into Lightroom. So now I'm in Lightroom. They're imported. And there are many controls in Lightroom, way more than I can explain in detail here, but I like the saturation tool, the clarify, dehaze tools. These are tools unique to Lightroom. I like to also, look at the color and try to bring the color to what Iris Nebula is typically displayed as and shown as. I'm going to bring down some unwanted colors and boost the ones I do want. So there's of course, the reflection nebula part's kind of brownish, and bring the highlights, which help to reduce the brightness in the middle, so I don't blow out that core, and adjust the darks. I've got a piece of hair I see on my sensor. I'm going to have to work with that, and I will get to that. Do sharpening. Also, I'm doing some noise control as well. All right, export this out now to Photoshop to do some further edits. All right, so I'm going to use the clone stamp tool to kind of clone stamp out that hair and that piece of hair, whatever it is on there. So that's done. And I do see there's like a dust spot or something. I see that there, but we'll just darken that, kind of hide it. Now I'm going to do some burning. You can dodge and burn. I'm going to burn to try to darken up the edges with the burn tool. And again, you can do all this stuff in Pixinsight with masks, but I prefer doing it by hand in Photoshop. So I'm kind of going around and kind of darkening those edges. I'm also going to enhance. Actually, I'm going to do some sharpening in the middle there. So this is all by taste. And again, I try to use other images as a reference. And again, all we're doing is enhancing what's there. We're not adding anything, and just doing enhancements, kind of darkening, burning those edges around there. Now here's the sharpening tool. I'm going to sharpen that detail in the middle, and just some other areas, kind of add sharpening to bring focus to it. And again, I'm going back over to the burn tool here, and just kind of, this is all by taste. Actually, I'm going to use the highlight. I'm going to reduce the highlight actually here. This is burning the highlights in. You can choose in Photoshop what to dodge or burn: highlights, mids, or low, or shadows. And so, all right, I've exported the image now back to Lightroom to continue my edits. And so there's the before and after. I'm going back up and just make some other adjustments. Take a look at it. I've got the clarity, kind of brings detail out, and the haze accentuates or reduces the sense of nebulosity. And of course, I'm increasing saturation a little bit, and also checking this color. So I want to keep that blue in the middle, but also retain that brown, which is the reflection nebula part. Again, all this stuff is to taste. I'm going to do a little vignette to darken the edges. Now on the stars, I like to first correct the color. Of course, it's kind of reddish. I'm going to do my overall warm and cool adjustment. But really, I'm going to actually take this color control. I'm going to take all the red out, take the orange out, take the yellow out. And so I take all of that, and then I try to get some color. Of course, stars have color, so I know that. Now, the highlights is where I bring down the star brightness. I like to do this so that when I merge images, the stars don't overwhelm the main focus of the image, which is the nebula. All right, and export these back out as TIFF files. And I'm going to export those out to a certain folder. And now I'm going to jump back over into Pixinsight. I don't need these anymore. I'm going to close those out. Don't need them. I'm done with those. I'm going to close all those out. I'm going to open the two TIFF files, the starless image and the stars image. So they're both importing now. There they are, starless and stars. I'm going to Pixel Math, and Pixel Math is the tool where we can merge these. So I'm going to Expression Editor, starless plus stars, and then I'm going to make a new image and hit OK or execute that. And there's the new image with the stars, which again, I reduced the brightness of the stars so it doesn't overwhelm the nebulosity. All right, export this back out to Lightroom to do my final edits on it. And again, all this can be done in Pixinsight, but I just prefer the tools I'm very familiar with. Okay, so we're going to jump back over now to Lightroom, open up that image, import it, and there it is. So I'm going to make a few more changes, take a look at the color again. Just take a look and see a bit more saturation, color balance. Try to maintain the blue in the middle, but bring out that brown nebulosity or dust. And there are the controls: dehaze, clarity. You can adjust all those. Again, Lightroom is very powerful. And again, I emphasize that Pixinsight can do all that, but it's kind of a headache using Pixinsight for some things. I'm just going through here and making some decisions about the color. Again, it's all by taste, by preference. See how much of the brown or yellow I want to leave in. Of course, yellow is a big part of brown, as well as the orange. I'm going to leave that in. I like to keep it subtle. I don't like to do extreme things, but just try to find a point where I'm comfortable with the image. And also it tends to be correct with other images that have been already produced of this target. And this can you can fumble with this. You can fool with this for a long time, but you have to make a decision, all right, and stop at some point. So I think I'm gonna leave it here and do one last adjustment to get that noise, some of the noise, background noise. All right, one final vignette adjustment. Add a little bit of vignette to darken the edges a little bit. And I think we will call it done for now. Of course, you always can go back and make other edits. I'm going to export this out as a JPEG. I'm going to add my watermark to it, export it out to my Astrophotography folder. And then here is the finished image. All right, and that's my workflow for Pixinsight using Lightroom and Photoshop.